quick little video, page 141, question 1. So the design for a model plane is shown. Its wings are based on parabola ABC with vertex at B and parabola DEF with vertex at E. So that's our vertex, this one, that's our vertex, the other one, and there are two parabolas, as you can see. Its tail is based on an ellipse, GHIJ, so GHIJ. Draw the design showing all construction lines clearly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the ellipse back here. You could start anywhere in this question basically, guys. Alright, I'm going to start with this ellipse. And I'm going to come down, start drawing the body, drawing my parabolas, and finish off the question. Okay, so for my ellipse, the major axis is 80, the minor axis is 30. Okay, so I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to draw in my circles and get my ellipse shape. That's my major axis. The length of that is 80. I'm going to mark my 40, 80 and my 0. And I'm going to draw in my minor axis. And my minor axis in this question is 30. So it's 15 and 15. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is draw in my circles. So my major circle and my minor circle. So my major circle first of all. I'm going to draw in my minor circle then. We're going to divide it 60-30. So we've loads of these done before, guys. Divide it 60-30. Yep. From the major circle, you go parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, you go parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, you go parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, you go parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. From the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. From the major circle, parallel to the minor axis. And from the minor circle, parallel to the major axis. Okay. So, I'm going to draw in my ellipse there now. I'm going to draw it in lightly because down here there's a bit of the ellipse that's hidden by the body. I'm going to I'll draw in this portion of the ellipse heavy. Lightly from here on then. I'm going to darken this bit in here. Okay. Now, the body is 16 millimeters wide, so it's going to be 8 each side of this center length. That goes up to where it hits the ellipse. So there, and there, and then it gets joined into the corner there. And I'm going to darken in the rest of the ellipse there, and darken in that portion there. Lovely. Now the distance from this very top point I'm going to measure down is 80 millimeters. I'm going to draw a line across. I'm just bringing down my center line. And at this point now it's 30 wide, so it's going to be 15 each side on this line I'm going to measure. So 30 there, there. And it tells me it is back in at 60 degrees. I'm using my 60 degree set square. So, thing goes straight down for 60 millimeters. It goes 60 millimeters, which is there. Then it comes back in 60 degrees for 10 millimeters. I'm going to measure my 10. Draw a line, and it comes back in 60. So there. This is 60 long then, so 13, 30, 60. And it's 5 millimeters wide, so draw it in. Okay. Now all I've left to do is my 2 parabolas, okay? So I'm going to do a little sketch over here of the parabolas just as a bit of revision, okay? So when we were drawing a parabola, what we used to do is we used to do a big box, just full size of the parabola. Then we used to divide it in half, and this up here was our vertex. We shoot a line down here and divide it into a number of equal parts. We're going to say 3, okay? I use cut down to the corner there, parallel, up to vertex. And then we divide this into the same number of equal parts. Up they go. And we draw in our parabola and mirror it across, right? So now what we're going to have to do for this is just flip this onto its side. Okay, so we have the full size of it there. And they stick out 65 millimeters. So the wing sticks out 65 millimeters. So I'm going to draw in my box. It sticks out here 65. So that now is my box. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to halve that. Okay? I'm going to halve that here, so it's just 30. I'm going to draw that line straight out. Now, they have E over on this side as the vertex, right? So you can write in E or V, it doesn't matter. To keep this, to stop it confusing you, I'm going to write V here. So that's my vertex, so that's that now. So the whole thing is twisted on its side, right? So you have to come across from V, here. I'm going to draw a line down any length, any angle. Okay? Get any distance on your compass, and I'm going to mark off 4. I'll go 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Next thing we do now, this very last point gets lined up with the bottom of the box we created. And we use sliding set squares to go parallel with the other points. So up to here. Okay, so that's there now. What did we do then? We joined them to the vertex. So they get joined to the vertex. Next thing we done, we came along the bottom, we divided it into the same number of equal parts. So down here at this bottom corner, I'm going to do a line, any angle, any distance. It doesn't matter what size you put on the compass again, once you keep them the same along this line. So we 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This time our last compass mark gets marked up with the halfway line in the box we drew. And we're going parallel, 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 parallel. These lines go straight up then, right? So these lines, look from here, they go straight up. And we match each corresponding one then. So that's the corner there. We freehanded okay. On this other side down here, then we can just mirror them. So we bring down the point, bring these all down. We get the distance from that center line to the point and just rotate it, swing it around, mark it on the other side. So So distance from the center line to the point. Swing it here. Center line to the point. Swing it. So that's one wing complete. Now, you can do the exact same thing for this wing. Alright? No problem whatsoever. The only slight issue we'd have with that is basically it's a mirror image. Alright? And it's going to take a lot of time to do this whole thing back out again. Okay? So you can be slightly smart about it, right? What you can do is you can mirror the points the same as we've just done. Okay? So what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to bring down this point here, for example. So that point there, I brought it straight across. I'm going to put my compass on the center line of the plane. So right here. So it doesn't matter where you go, right? You could go from here, from the body of the plane, up to there. And then just come over to here and mark it. Once you're keeping the same distance, what I'm going to do is I have a center line all the way down my plane. I'm going to put my compass on that center line, extend it to the point, and then I can just spin it around like that. The reason I'm using that center line is because I don't have to move the point on the compass to mark it on the left hand side. That's basically just the reason I'm using that, right? So that's my first point. Bring on the second point. So remember now, point right in the middle of that center line of the plane, extend it up to the second point, right there. So all we are doing is mirroring it across from the right to the left. Point on the center, extend it up to the point on the parabola, spin it around, mark it there. Now I have my vertex. So point on the center, extend it up to the vertex, mark it there. I'm just going to do these 3 points now. One go. So point in the center, extend it to the point of the parabola, turn around, mark it there. Point in the center, extend it to the parabola point, swing it around. There, and my last one now. And that's our 2 parabolas there done then. That saved a lot of time compared to that first one. That's the question fully completed, page 141, question 1. So it's using ellipses and parabolas in questions together.